What is the biggest difference between martial arts and self-defense? If there is one question that comes up when the topic of martial arts is discussed, it's the question of what martial art is best for self-defense? The simple answer is there really isn't an answer, but there's a reason for that. And I'm going to do my best today to try to answer it. If you don't know me and my journey, please take a look at some of these videos where I go in depth about why I feel I can speak to this question. All right, I'm going to draw a circle on the board. Over here is going to be martial arts, and over here is going to be self-defense. Most everyone who starts training in a martial art or a combative sport does it for one of two reasons. Either self-defense or not. Yes, not self-defense. The not reason is broad, but it may be because it looks cool or my friend does it, it's part of my culture, but it's either for self-defense or it's not for self-defense. Let's assume you start training in a martial art for self-defense. You will take your beliefs of what you think self-defense is, and then you'll try to conform that martial art to what you think. You may even believe that some of the things that you're learning in the martial art aren't necessary to learn because, well, it doesn't pertain to self-defense. And you may be right. You go through the training with a mindset towards self-defense. But if you train long enough, you'll eventually stop training for self-defense and start training for the art's sake. The opposite is true as well. If you start training in a martial art just because, well, you like it, eventually you'll learn some self-defense skills. Now, back to the circle, if you start training it for self-defense, then if you do it long enough, you start to do it for, well, the martial art's sake. If you start it for just it's fun or it's cool or my friend's doing it, eventually you'll learn some self-defense skills. Now, if you're still watching, let me discuss the difference between probabilities and possibilities. If you ever find yourself in a bad situation, it's probable that there will be multiple people or, some sort of weapon involved. Statistics bear this out. On the other hand, it is possible, but not probable, that those multiple people are ninjas and they're using throwing stars as their weapons. Are you following my logic? Understanding that some things are probable and some things, are possible. In self-defense, we train for probable situations. In martial arts, it's really about anything that's possible. And that's really the biggest difference between training in a martial art and training for self-defense. Training for self-defense requires that you start with the most probable situations and then work to the more possible situations. For example, someone walks up to you and throws a wild swinging right hand at your head. If someone punches at you, it'll probably be a swinging punch, and he will probably be right-handed. Why? Because, most people are right-handed, and most people are untrained, and most untrained people throw wild swinging punches. And it'll be a guy, more likely than not, if he's throwing a punch. Obviously, there's more to this, but it's just an example. In martial arts training, you learn basic fundamentals and then, some easy drills to continue to rep those fundamentals. Eventually, you'll learn something that looks a little bit like self-defense. All martial arts classes are designed this way. You work from the bottom up rather than from the top down. The number one way to know if you're in a martial arts class or in a self-defense class is to ask the question, did I learn something that I could use for a self-defense situation today? If the answer is yes, then it's probably a self-defense course. If the answer is no, it's probably a martial arts class. Now, I'm not saying that training in the martial arts will not teach you to defend yourself, but that really isn't the main focus, at least not always. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know what you think about it, and if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more of my videos. Also, take a look at my other content. I have some videos specifically on karate curriculum, self-defense, and some workouts as well. See you next time.